Welcome to this discussional video on the subject of the new rules, or some of the new rules for the new edition of Warhammer 40,000, so 11th edition. Games Workshop if you haven't seen it already, the full rules are available in the download section from the Warhammer community website, which is great. You can get a hold of the full rule set, download it, and get familiar with the rules already. I've seen a fair bit of discussion on the new rules coming through. I've picked 5 of my favourites, and so we'll go for each of those rules and then a bit of opinion and discussion on each one. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section, commenting on the rules that I'm going to talk about here in this video, and also any other rules that I've missed. And I'm talking about the favourite rules, like changes they've made for 11th edition that are really good. So let us know what you think, in your opinion, of some of the best changes for the new edition. So before we get stuck in, very briefly, our sponsors, the beautiful backdrop here for this video. This is GameMat.eu, Battlemat, and also their pre-painted, pre-made terrain. So do check them out, link for them below, and don't forget to use the discount code. It's 11% off, and it's across the store, so it'll apply to everything mats and terrain, and they are shipping worldwide. And on the subject of GameMat.eu, I've been sent some samples of their adaptions for 11th edition terrain. So they are producing these sets here. It's the same battle mat material, and that's your terrain templates for like your area terrain for 11th edition, a full set. So do keep track of what they're up to on their website, and when these things become available to order or pre-order, I believe that the discount code is going to apply to them as well. Great thing about a lot of the sets that they're doing is 2 things I like. They're doing like the jaggedy edges, which is great, and a lot of the sets they're doing are double-sided. So you've got a design here which is the same design as the battle mat here, the cyberpunk I think it's called, and then each one looks like it's different as well, which is great. So these look really good. They're going to be super durable. Brilliant idea to have them double-sided. Not all of them double-sided, you can choose if you don't want them double-sided, but this is a real good move here from GameMat.eu. So do check out the website and keep up to date with the latest adaptations for terrain for 11th edition. And Starforged, for your official 40k memorabilia, relics and banners and so on for different factions, check them out. The link below will give you an 8% discount code for their store. So the first rule, I have them printed out. You should see them come up on your screen just to make it really easy so you can follow along. You should see the images for them coming up on the screen. So the first one is the rotation of vehicles. Absolutely couldn't stand the pivot rule for 10th edition. It looks like it's gone, so it's a massive hooray for that. It looks like Games Workshop now have gone to what I think is a brilliant change and a much more realistic way for rotating your vehicles. So going by the graphic on the screen. So what they're giving you is an example of how it works. So in the image it says this model has a maximum distance of 12 inches, like the standard movement for a tank. It moves a series of straight lines and rotations as follows, and then it gives you the example, and then gives you the total. It's a total move of 12. So I mean, I'll apply it to this wave serpent across here. So my movement is 14, and so I'll go 3 inches, and then I'll make a rotation. So I've got 11 inches left. I'll do another 3 inches, and then make another rotation, and then that's going to give me 8 inches left. And that's it. As simple as that. That is a fantastic rule, and that rule alone really gives good hope for 11th edition. They've listened to the community. They've adjusted the rule. It's much more realistic, much more easier, much more flexible for vehicles, much more realistic. The other important thing to point out is that movement is done from the center point of the vehicle. So you're turning on the spot. You're not rotating around where some people might be tempted to roll, to measure from the edge and roll around to try and gain a few extra inches. You're just pivoting right on the spot with vehicles. Bear that in mind, and that's the correct way that rule works. The next rule that I really like is the way they've changed charges. I think it speed things up, and again, nice and straightforward. So the active player resolves charges with their eligible units one at a time, using the sequence below until all of their units they choose to charge or declare the charge, and those charges have been resolved. So you work your way through your charges one at a time. So first of all, you declare a charge. You select one friendly unit that has not declared a charge. This phase is eligible to declare a charge. That unit declares a charge. The unit is eligible to charge if it's on the battlefield, unless otherwise stated. Here are some rules that prevent a unit from being eligible to charge. It's not within 12 inches of one or more enemy units. It's engaged, and it made an advance or a fallback move this turn. That's usually the case, unless you've got a special that lets you do it. So that's all fine. Then you make a charge roll. You make a charge roll on 2d6. That's the maximum distance to the charge move. So what they're saying now is you're able to, you just simply say, I'm going to declare a charge of this unit across here. You roll your 2 dice, and then you're picking which units to go into after the charge roll is made. So I've rolled a 7 here. Let's say we rolled a 5. I can then pick any units within that range to make the charge. So I can charge I'm too far away from those, so I'll just charge into them. If I roll high enough, so I've got a 12, I can then choose, I'll just pick these 2 units to charge into. So you're just basically now declaring your charge, rolling up to see what you get, and then picking your targets. So nice and straightforward. It's so quick, you just say I'm charging, roll dice, then choose your targets. It's nice and speedy. It takes out a bit of the thinking things through. Do I try and roll these dice or not? What do I do? And that did slow the game down, because often it was important whether a charge went ahead or not. But now you're just rolling the dice and then you're picking. And then just a few more details. So if it's possible to make a charge move and you still want to, so you still back out of the charge even if you've rolled enough to make it to the target, then you make a charge move with that unit. Otherwise, the unit does not make a charge move. In either case, the charge is then resolved. So that is a streamlined way of resolving charges, and I think it's going to cut out a lot of waiting and thinking time at that point where you're trying to make a decision whether to charge and who to charge, multi-charge, how far you're going to charge, and so on. You just roll the dice and then make your choice. So that's a real good move. Rate that rule. Brilliant. And the more I'm looking at 11th edition, it seems like Games Workshop have listened to the community, which is one of the advantages that you do get if the rules are being updated and changed. They're listening to feedback from the community. If they do a good job of that, you're going to get a well-refined set of rules, and that could well be the case here for 11th edition, that it's like 10.5, but like a better, more refined and more realistic version of 40k. So far so good. Love to hear from you if you think some of the rules or the new rules are not so good. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. The next rule, number 3 here, is the new rules for hidden units. So a model is hidden while all the following rules apply to it. So it means you're out of sight and you can't be picked on with shooting. Fair enough, units have hit the dirt and hiding away, and so can't be shot at. So that model has, and these are to qualify as hidden, you have to have these things in place. That model has the infantry, beasts and swarms. You can't hide your dreadnoughts and tanks and so on. And it's within area terrain that contains one or more dense terrain features. So instead, this is quite logical, I think. Instead of having to go behind obscuring terrain to try and hide, you can make better use of area terrain, whereas before, if you're in it, you could be seen by everyone and so on. Now, if you're far enough away, then you can hunker down and disappear temporarily. And that model's unit did not make one or more ranged attacks during this turn or during the previous turn. So you're not allowed to shoot, which again is fair enough, just represents the unit really taking cover and sheltering in place. Whilst the model is hidden, it can only be visible to enemy models that are within its detection range. Unless otherwise stated, a model's detection range is 15 inches. So 15 is going to be the standard. That's going to go up and down as obviously more alert races, such as the Eldar, I would imagine. Ones with technology, such as the Tau for detecting, I'm sure they're going to get some kind of bonus, so that will increase the detection range. But it means that some of your units sheltering at the back, and you want them out of trouble. Units like Chaos Cultists and so on, sitting on a home objective, or objective piece of terrain, then they can take shelter and stand a better chance of survival is the idea. So hidden rule seems fine, fair enough, and again, quite straightforward. And I guess you're going to need some kind of markers to represent that, like hidden tokens, to remind yourself and the opponent that units are hidden. It's something you're going to have to declare as well. So next one, this is great, and this came up quite early with the teasers that came out for 11th edition. It's one of the stratagems for a command point. The old tank shock rule, it's called Crushing Impact. The dream has come true of this one. Monsters, finally, can do it. And why shouldn't they? These massive bulks crushing into things, they should be able to make an impact. So the rules for this one is in your charge phase, just after a friendly monster or vehicle ends a charge move. This is great news for the Tyranids. Tyranid players are going to be real happy over this. The monsters can actually make quite an impact on the charge. The target is that monster, or your target is your monster or vehicle unit. So you resolve it in the following sequence. So select one enemy unit engaged with units. So you just charged into them. And they obviously have to have made a charge, because it says when, just after a friendly monster or vehicle ends a charge move. It's like an impact hit. Then number 2, select one model from a unit engaged with the enemy unit. And then number 3, you roll a number of d6 equal to the toughness characteristic of that model. So the tougher your beast is, the more impact it's going to have. Totally logical. And then for each one, your unit suffers a mortal wound, so you can damage yourself. Completely realistic. And then each 5+ the enemy unit suffers, they take a mortal wound. So there's twice the chance of damaging the opponent. Fine. And it is capped at a maximum of 6 mortal wounds. So this is going to add some real good dynamics to the game. You've got a carnifex left with 1 or 2 wounds. Do you take the risk of losing the model on the charge to inflict damage? It could be like the risk that you could have units cancelling each other out. Literally, the opponent's got a couple of wounds left, you have, and then both models are destroyed as they smash into each other. Fine, realistic, great fun as well. It carries a bit of a risk with it, but no complaints. Like the mechanism for that is fantastic. So, Tank Shock was fine for 10th edition, but it was exceptionally infuriating that monsters couldn't do anything like that unless they had some kind of special rule. Talking of special rules, I'm thinking of units that have impact hits built in anyway. So if they can stack that, things like Brutalis Dreadnoughts, for example, then fantastic. But even thinking of like monsters that might have some kind of impact hits, now they can partake with that rule, and then also with Crushing Impact. So it's good news, really realistic rule, nice and straightforward, brilliant move for 11th edition. So that's the 4th rule. The next one, number 5, again, they've taken a rule that was quite tedious and frustrating and went for a few changes for 10th edition, and now they've brought out a rule that again is logical, straightforward, it's easy to remember and easy to do, and it's just going to cut out a lot of time, a lot of potential disputes as well. I'll show you a few examples, but this is the rules for flying models. So I'm going to bring in a piece of terrain across here, and we'll bring in some Shroud Runners for the Eldar. So models with the fly keyword, and that's going to apply to like these bikers, for example. Eldar Wave Serpents have the fly keyword, so vehicles as well. So models with the fly keyword and units such models are part. Models with the fly keyword and units such models are part of are said to be able to fly. I'm sure the wording on that one. Maybe it's me. Some rules also refer to such models, units as flying models or flying units. Okay, just clarifying the keywords there. Each time a flying unit is selected to make a normal, advance, fallback, or a charge move, before moving any models in that unit, the active player can declare that it will take to the skies. So that's the rule. It's not complicated at all. If it does, then resolving that move. So you declare it, I'm going to take to the skies with my normal move for the Shroud Runners, or I'm going to take to the skies and make a charge move, and you just declare it as that. If you declare that, it's -2 to your move. Like, how straightforward is that? Brilliant rule. It's nice and easy. And then each time a flying model moves, ignore all vertical distance for the purpose of how far it has moved. So in 10th edition, it was like going as the crow flies. So you had to go up like this, you get the tape measure out. Okay, get the tape measure there, and it's 5 and a bit inches to get to there. But then I need to measure 5, 6, 7 inches to get to there. And then I wonder if I can make it down or not. 5, 7, 12, 13 to get to there, and then I've got another inch. So there's all of that going on, and then your opponent's like, oh, have you moved too far and so on. But now you say, I mean, I could obviously go around, but we'll just say I'm trying to cross this. I say to the opponent, right, I'm taking to the skies with my normal move. My normal move is 14. I'm going to drop to a 12-inch move, and I'm just going to go crossing over the terrain, ignoring all distances, and I'm going to get to there. It's interesting. Where I've just landed is pretty much where I measured for the whole as the crow flies going over the terrain, but it was like 10 times quicker, and that's, again, great. Anything that speeds up a game. And how can your opponent argue with that? There's my measurement, everyone can see it, and I'm just going to move straight through. And so I have paid a penalty for the terrain, but Fly has enabled me to go over it at a penalty of 2 inches. Fantastic. It means you're going to need to watch out in games of 11th edition for ambushes from flying units. It means they're going to get through terrain. You could have a terrain piece that I'm guessing could be twice as tall as this. I can go straight through. Well, not straight through. I'll pay just 2 inches to get to the other side. And it's fine. You know, jet bikes are going to go up and over. Tau battle suits is going to add a real good ambush quality for them as well. With their fly keyword, I believe they're able to jump up and over. Completely realistic. It's what you'd expect. But watch out. Fly units will be dangerous enough in 11th. And just a few extra bits here for these rules. So, ignoring all vertical distances, the purpose of how far it has moved. It can move through all types of model, including enemy models, their monsters, and vehicle models. And it can move horizontally and vertically through all categories of terrain feature. So, nice sweeping rule across the board. Pay your 2 inches, and it applies if, say, I wanted to advance with these. Then I'm just paying the 2 inches, that's the same, and the charge move, the same thing as well. So, and some units will still keep their special advantage, such as these showing spears, which their rule on their datasheet currently says that they ignore the penalty for all distances for terrain. So these guys will go 16 straight through without penalty for going through terrain. So they'll just override the loss of the 2 inches. So still, units with an ability like that will still keep their advantage, haven't really been adversely affected. So that's the 5 rules. The new pivot rules for vehicles: straightforward, logical, fair, and quick. Charges, again, quicker, fairer, and logical. It's the hidden rules, fine, fully understandable, realistic, great. Then you've got crushing impact, which is an improvement on the previous tank shock stratagem, and it's expanded it out now to monsters. Fantastic news, and a real good move. The rules for flying models as well, just pay your 2 inches, and then you just get to move through the terrain. So all in all, in my opinion, playing different editions of 40k, these are superb adjustments from Games Workshop. So a big round of applause for them for coming up with some great mechanics. It looks like it's rules that they thought about, and I wonder if it's the same person that's come up with each of these rules, because all of them are excellent. So that's an encouraging sign for 11th edition, and obviously with the rules published and out and free to download, which again is another good move from Games Workshop, you can just start going through the rules and seeing what other changes have been made that are good. But these 5 here, in my opinion, are all 10 out of 10. They are excellent, and so that gives us great hope, I think, for 11th edition being an excellent edition of 40k. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do check out our sponsors for relics and banners and so on. It's Starforged, and you get an 8% discount code in the video description below, and then gamemat.eu for your superb battle mats and pre-painted terrain available from them as well. And again, don't forget to use the discount code in the video description below. And then for bonus content, do join us on channel membership. The plan, hopefully, and I'm modelling this on HOBTV, our new YouTube channel. Membership's gone down really well on the historical channel, and so I'm planning to run a full breakdown multi-part series on how to play Warhammer 40,000 11th edition. The idea is that we'll go through all the rules, explain it to you, and we'll do working examples on the board, and you can pick and choose which episodes you want to see. And the idea is that will get you fluent in 11th edition as you watch that series. The plan is that will be exclusively on channel membership as one of the bonus series that we offer on there. So you can keep a lookout for that coming soon. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.